What is up, guys? Show Sports back here with another video. Now today's video, I'm going to be doing something new. I'm going to be starting a new series. I'm going to be doing a My League rebuild for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now this rebuild is an actual rebuild. It won't just be a one video type thing. This rebuild will probably be stretched out for 10, 15 videos, something around that. But before I get into this video, I just want to say, yeah, I haven't been uploading as much as recently. I just started college, so that's been kind of hectic and stuff like that. But as I get more comfortable in my new situation in college, then I'll be uploading more. And yeah, but besides the point, let's get back to the video. But yeah, as I said, the reason why I'm doing the Cleveland Cavaliers is because they're my favorite team. I know a lot about them, and I'm interested in doing a rebuild on them, you know? So we'll see what happens. But just talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers now, last year was our first season without LeBron, and it was a bad one. You know, this team is obviously rebuilding, and I don't know, we'll see what happens. But yeah, let's just go over the roster now. I'm talking about the key players, and then other players can just float around. So I want to talk about first Darius Garland. Darius Garland was the 5th overall pick in this past draft for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's listed as 6'2" here. I don't know if he's 6'2" in real life. I think he's more 6'3", but the thing with this pick was, it was a surprising one. Without a doubt, you know, the Cavs drafted Colin Sexton last year, and taking another point guard when Colin Sexton is also 6'2" isn't ideal. And the questions are, how will they fit in, you know, the lineup together? Defensively, it doesn't look good. Offensively, there could be some potential. But I just want to say something on this topic really quickly. The Cavs last year were in their first year of the rebuild. Yes, they did draft Colin Sexton, but is Colin Sexton the point guard of the future for this team? I'm not sure. When you have Darius Garland there for you at the 5th pick, you go ahead and take it 10 times out of 10. You know, and when you're in the beginning of a rebuild, you don't draft off fit. You draft off of talent, so you can have a player to build around in the future. And I think Darius Garland will be that for us. But I mean, it's not like Darius Garland is some bum or something. Like, it was not a crazy pick. You know, it's not what the Suns did, drafting a 24-year-old, I believe, in the lottery. You know, that's not smart. But Darius Garland is a player who a lot of people say is the best shooter in this draft. We'll see if he lives up to that type of hype. I'm very interested to see what he can do, because, you know, he hasn't played in a while. He only played five games, at Vanderbilt, and then didn't play at all in Summer League. So we haven't seen him play much. So we'll see what he's able to do. And yeah, that's it on Colin Sexton. Next player I want to discuss is, I'm not Colin Sexton, that's it on Darius Garland. Next player I want to discuss now is Colin Sexton, and he's an interesting one. Before I even talk about him, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move him to the shooting guard position, not Darius Garland. Where's Colin Sexton? I'm going to move Colin Sexton to the shooting guard position. We'll have Darius Garland play the 1 and Colin Sexton play the 2, at least for a quarter of the season, just to see, you know, how it ends up. But Colin Sexton, again, I believe it was the 8th overall pick, right? Yes, the 8th overall pick in 2018. If I could go back to that draft now, would the Cavs have taken him again? You could have taken Mikal Bridges, who would have been a great pairing alongside Darius Garland. But besides him, that's the only player that I would really take him over. Maybe Miles Bridges, but I don't know. But Colin Sexton, yeah, last year, to start the year off, he was terrible. He was bad all around. The chemistry, everything was just poor. But after the All-Star break, he picked it up. Now you could attribute that to the fact that teams were tanking, so they weren't taking games as seriously. As an example, now that, you know, you're past the All-Star break, teams tend to play their young guys a ton more minutes, you know, to see what they're worth, to then go on and lose games. And that's something that maybe the Cavs did. I don't know, but he really did pick it up. The second half of the season, I believe he averaged around, 23 points. Shot well from 3. I mean, just looking at his stats last year here, he had almost 17 points per game, 3 rebounds, 3 assists on 40% shooting from the 3 is amazing. And Colin Sexton is a guy who at least tries on defense. You know, you want someone who at least can try. He's only 20 years old, of course. And again, that pairing of him and Darius Garland in the backcourt, we'll see if it works. I do want to give some time to see if they can mold together, but I will be experimenting. Some games I'll possibly play Darius Garland on the bench. Some games I'll look to play Colin Sexton on the bench. We'll just see what happens, but for now, this is our backcourt. And yeah. Alright, now those two are probably the 2 focal points of this team. Young player wise, you know, of course, I might as well talk about him now, Kevin Love. But Kevin Love obviously isn't a guy in the future of the Cavs. You know, he's in the Cavs plans of the future because he's 31. This is his fifth season going. This is sixth season going on to Cleveland. Wow. Okay, thought it was his fifth. But yeah, Kevin Love is an interesting one. Of course, another interesting topic throughout the Cavs organization because people are wondering, should the Cavs trade him or should they keep him? My personal opinion, I believe the Cavs should keep him at least for half a season to see how things are going. Because when you have two young guys, especially in the backcourt like you do in Darius Garland and Colin Sexton, you want a guy who can take the offensive pressure off of them and can make the transition from college to the NBA easier. You just don't want to have a repeat of the Kyrie Irving, Dion Waiters situation. I believe a big part as to why Kyrie Irving and Dion Waiters didn't work out, obviously, because of their egos, but also the team around them was bad. They didn't really have anybody else to look to or to cater to when their shots weren't falling. And early in his career, at least, Kyrie Irving wasn't a playmaker. Dion Waiters is not a playmaker, so it was hard for them to create offense for other guys, such as Tristan Thompson, who his game is revolved around people feeding him the ball, in the paint and stuff. But now that you have a guy in Kevin Love, who is a 17, 18 point per game guy, 10 rebound guy who can also space the floor and shoot the three, that's key. That's key, and his production and how he plays is going to help, Darius Garland and Colin Sexton out tremendously this season. So that's just my opinion on that. But regarding my rebuild, will I trade him? Again, I'm going to give it probably like half a season. We'll see where we are around the trade deadline, but that's also another thing I want to talk about. This first year, I am looking to tank because our pick is top 10 protected. If it falls into the top 10, obviously we keep it, but if it's outside of the top 10, the Atlanta Hawks get it. And while I'm on that topic, let me just look at the prospect scouting. Obviously, you have James Wiseman, you have Anthony Edwards, LaMelo Ball. I'm not really looking at any of these guys. Jeremiah Robinson Earl could be a guy that I'm targeting. Isaiah Stewart, maybe even James Wiseman if we end up with the number 1 overall pick. Will we? I mean, again, we'll see what happens. Trevor Son, I think this is an auto generator. I don't think this is an actual guy, but we'll see. Yeah, but Precious, I know he's an actual guy. That's a guy that I want to target. His defense could be great for with the backcourt that we have in Colin Sexton and Darius Garland. But Dini, I don't know how to say if I'm pronouncing his name right. That's another guy that I'm looking at. But yeah, that's that for that. Getting back to the roster though, we already talked about our key guys, kind of, but let's get to the lesser young players that we still like to talk about. Our guy Cedi Osman. I don't know. Cedi Osman is someone who you can say is overrated at this point. I mean, people do like to overrate him. And it's fair, I guess. Cedi did have, a good season last year. 13 points, 5 rebounds, almost 2.6 assists. Didn't shoot particularly well from the field or three, but he was injured for a good chunk of the year, and he shot bad when he was coming back. That type of stuff happens, but I'm having high hopes for Cedi Osman, this season. We'll see what he can do. Hopefully he can improve his playmaking because there was a stretch of games last year. I believe if it was just before or just after the All-Star break where he was looking great. He was having high playmaking. I think he was averaging around like 5 or 6 assists. That's something great to see, especially considering the fact that our backcourt, these guys aren't, playmakers. I mean, Darius Garland, I believe, averaged 5 or 4 assists per game at Vanderbilt, and Colin Sexton only averaged 3 assists last year. Last year, the last game of last season, he did have a double game. He did average 10 assists, but he isn't really a playmaker. So yeah, if we can have someone like Cedi who can maybe get to like the 4-5 assist mark, that'll be great. Obviously, with him, I want to see more consistency in his offense. He was really inconsistent last year. He'll have some great games. Well, the first game of the season when they played the Toronto Raptors, he was great. I think it was actually the first 3 games he was great. He was lining up, and then after that, he dipped down. But, this is going into his 3rd season, and he's already 24, so he's kind of a veteran, I guess you could. Well, considering, our young group, he's a vet compared to them at this point, and he's due for a contract extension soon. He has 1 more year left on his deal, so we'll see what he wants to resign for. I think 10 mil is probably the max. Maybe I'll go 11, but anything after that, we might just have to let him walk, unfortunately. But yeah, that's that on Cedi Osman. Now, let's go on to the 2 other rookies that they drafted this year. Starting off, Kevin Porter Jr. Kevin Porter Jr. was a 30th overall pick in this past draft, and a lot of people are saying this is the steal of the draft. Now, for this rebuild, I don't really know what I want to do with him just yet. Maybe I'll send him to the G League. Maybe he'll play. But my vision for him is I want him to be like a Jamal Crawford / J.R. Smith type. You know, our 6-man, come in, put up 16, 17, 18 points per game. You know, just shoot the ball a lot. That's really what I want him to do. But we'll see what he does. That's really all I got to say about him. And then Dylan Windler. Dylan Windler in college was actually really good. He averaged around, what 21 and 10 on like 43% shooting from 3. So he's a sharpshooter at that. And he's left-handed. So, yeah. But just looking at the rest of the team, I don't know. Jordan Clarkson, you know, it's okay. It's an okay team. But, yeah, that's going to do it for this first episode, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy. This is just assessing the team, telling you my plan. So let me reiterate my plan for you guys if I, you know, wasn't made clear in this video. I'm looking to tank this year because, of course, I want to get a high draft pick. We're targeting big men or small forwards. So Precious is a guy that I'll be scouting. Dini, if I'm saying his name correctly. James Wiseman, of course, is a guy that I'm going to be scouting. Isaiah Stewart, Jeremiah Robinson Earl. You know, those type of guys that these are just the guys I'm going to be scouting. But as far as trades go, as of right now on the trading block, I'm actually going to do that right now. I'm going to put Jordan Clarkson on the trading block. He's due for a contract this year, and with Dylan Windler and Kevin Porter Jr., I want to get them more minutes, so I don't think he has a place on this team. We'll put Kevin Love on the trade block. I don't think I'll trade him, maybe even this season. I don't know, but I just want to see what other teams are looking for. As far as untouchables go, we'll put up Darius Garland. We'll put up Colin Sexton. That's it for now. But yeah, that's it. This is what it's looking like. As the roster goes, coaching, let's change that. We have Darius at the 1, Colin Sexton at the 2, Jetty Osman at the 3, Kevin Love at the 4, and I actually do want to play Larry Nance at the 5 rather than Tristan Thompson. But I mean, yeah, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy. Please like and sub and share with your friends. And it's So Sports, and I'm out. Peace.